Good morning. I'm Charlie Kemp and I'm here with,
Tobin Pop.
and today we're here to present to you our Summer Bridge Advisory Block overview. To ground ourselves, we're first going to start off with our advisory definition because everyone loves advisory and this is your advisory block we're going over. Each advisory block has been designed for 60 minutes. You can feel free at your school site to customize this. If you're going to have a 45-minute block, you'll see that there are different components that you can move around, switch, and change. As we were designing our blocks, we really wanted to take into account from our definition really being able to build positive relationships with our students as they're coming to a new school between teacher and student and student and student. Also, we wanted to introduce to them the idea behind academic resilience and becoming persistent in their pursuit of excellence for college leadership and life. And we really wanted to approach this in how do we begin to develop the whole child. Each school has their own set culture, and so we want you to own this advisory block as your own and promote the desired school culture for your school. So we've got Mae Jemison, there are the West Side Waves, and so each one has their own different culture and also different mascot. And so thinking about how do you incorporate those things into your advisory block. With that, we're going to move forward to how we actually built out this. What was our process like? So we put out an all call to all of our schools, and so we heard back from some really cool schools. And so then we did a benchmarking examination to think about what do kids need when they first start before they have their actual first day of school. And so we established our essential components, and then based off of that, we put together a bank of resources so that, as I mentioned before, feel free to customize this. And then we crafted a recommended course plan for you to take and use and make your own. Shout out, I mentioned some awesome schools sent us some resources. Animo James B. Taylor, Animo Jefferson, and Animo Mae Jemison.
Whoop whoop.
Hey.
Yay.
You may see some of their work and it may look very familiar if you're at these schools, and some of you probably have collaborated on similar things even from different schools. So just know that these resources have come from these places. So, a day in the life. What will the 60-minute block look like? Watch my cool cartoon. Oh, isn't that cool? So, we'll start off with a brief introduction, probably about 5 minutes. These are recommended times, but like I said, feel free to shorten, lengthen, whatever works for you and your school site. System lessons will be things that cover uniforms, meeting the staff, merit demerit cards. The social emotional learning lesson will cover things like setting your purpose, goals, thinking about who you are, what you want to do, and also dealing with emotions. Middle school is a very emotional period as kids transition, and so thinking through how to get them to think about conflict and being persistent when things seem challenging. And last but not least is our team building activity. We really want to cultivate strong relationships between teachers and students, as we mentioned, and as a whole classroom community, especially in the advisory class. We've also integrated thinking maps and the CLL framework throughout this process. Taking you to our course guide, which is basically a curriculum map for you all, if you will. Each day we have themed based off of our CLL framework. There are two themes. There's hashtag relationships matter, which is the college strength of heart pillar. And then there's hashtag can't stop, won't stop, which is life, strength of will. So thinking about those two pieces to guide you as you set up your first couple of weeks with your students in Summer Bridge. If you look, each day has a system. It has an SEL lesson and a team lesson. So in the first day is meet the staff, then it's intro to advisory, then it's circle, and you can see our different objectives for each day. Want to mention each school has their own culture. So if you want to make day 11 your day 1, feel free to change around and swap as you will. Gonna take you to where you can find these awesome things. 1, you'll be able to find them at your school site with your principal or your admin who attended our session, or 2, on our handy dandy advisory page in the curriculum resources folder. So if you ever get lost, go back to the advisory page. You'll say go to curriculum resources and you'll find it. To take you specifically to the advisory guide, You'll see once again you have a day in the life. Everyone needs the cartoon twice. And then you'll also have our curriculum guide to share with you which pieces should go, recommend how we recommend it, and then we go into our actual specific days. So you'll see every day has a different link for the different lessons. So you can click on this link and the link will take you to a lesson. So for example, day 1, we have meet the staff. And as I mentioned, you're going to have to customize many of our lessons. So as you can see, if they're going to meet your staff, we don't have everyone's. In this case, this is Animo Jefferson's, and so you can see who their staff is, and you can replace with your own staff. Note that in many of our lessons, I'll show you another one. For example, our SEL lesson, there are ways for the instructor to customize this. This is so that teachers are able to connect with students and students can connect with teachers. So there's the SEL circle lesson, and I won't run through this one. I'll actually show you the circle rainstorm one. So when you get these lessons, you'll want to download them so that you can customize them for your specific school site. So in the rainstorm lesson, there's a tag that's orange. It says, please remove before presenting. If you don't do this, your students will know you haven't seen the lesson beforehand. So warning. But this here asks for the teacher to tell a story about a rainstorm experience. Was it scary? Was it fun? And so it's just a way, once again, we recently sat down with students through a lot of focus groups. Students love personal stories from teachers, and it's a way of connection. So bringing us back to our original guide, you have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, all the way through day 12. And then there's actually an advisory bank of lessons. So there's SEL lessons, system lessons, team building lessons. You'll notice there's some overlap and some duplication. Each school has their own culture and their own way of doing their slides, and we want you to figure out the best way that works for you and have options. And so these are just a list of links of resources. We want to ground you with our CLL framework. We appreciate you being with us, and we hope that you have a wonderful summer. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Tobin or Charlie, and we'll happily get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great day.